Two village idiots with a love-hate relationship.
See, you got fat.
So you still look like a 15-year-old girl, but not hot.
Who can't stop arguing over Oklahoma sports.
You know what, man? Why am I still talking to you?
Come on, we were doing good there, man.
It's the Just Okay Sports Podcast.
Sooner Nation, Thunder Nation, we are back. This is the Just Oklahoma Sports Podcast. That's also Just OK Sports. And we are getting ready for this Temple game this week. And so we were able to record an interview. Earlier was actually Monday evening. So luckily nothing dramatic has changed between now and then. But with Sean McGady of I'll Be Back podcast. He's a Philly local. He gets the lay of the land. He has seen this team at its worst. He's now seen this team very much on the uprise. And I think this is going to be a much tougher contest than we thought originally. And so let's listen and hear what Sean has to say about the game against Temple. Sooner Nation, Thunder Nation, we are back, and we are thrilled to have with us the I'll Be Back podcast with our man Sean. He was on with us last year, did a fantastic job getting us set up and ready to go for this Temple Owls game, and it's going to look a lot different this year than it did last year, not only in venue, but in the game style as well. Sean, thank you so much for joining us, man.
No, thank you guys for having me again. Last year was a lot of fun, despite the 52-3 loss on my end. Still had a good time, and looking a lot different this year. So I'm definitely looking more forward to it than I already was.
Yeah, and so obviously for those that may not know, lots of changes at Temple in the offseason. So I'm assuming, I know there's a new head coach, which means there's lots of new staff members, maybe completely new staff members. I'm gonna guess there's a lot of transfer portal in there. Can you kind of just give us just a quick, like, who all is there that we need to kind of know, like, what's been the big change? How much turnover has there really been?
So yeah, it's funny because this time a year ago, it was our coach's third year, Stan Drayton, and it was kind of like make or break, and he broke. So we won 3 games last year for the third year in a row under him, and we made a change. We hired this guy, Casey Keeler, who originally is from this area. He coached at Delaware. He actually, if you really want to go way back, he coached at Rowan, which is a small school in Jersey, then went to Delaware. Did fantastic there, won a national championship at the FCS level. Then he went to Sam Houston State, won a FCS championship there, I believe, and then helped elevate them to the FBS level. And only his second or third year there, he got them to a winning program at the FBS level. So we kind of made the call to him, and he's on the older end of the coaching world. Everybody's always looking for like the young 30-year-old hot young coordinator. He's pretty much the opposite end of that, which I think favors us.
Yeah.
We usually get the Matt Rules of the world and then they leave for a new job in 2 years. Whereas this is, I'm borderline predicting this. This is his retirement plan. Like he's here for 4 or 5 years and then he's done.
Right.
I actually had the privilege of I had him on my show a couple weeks ago, and he has grandkids in the area. And I don't see him jumping ship again. So he was already coming from Texas to come to the grandkids from Sam Houston State, and now he can drive to his grandkids in about 45 minutes. So it's one of the weird things that being Temple and who we are, we know who we are. So this coaching hire benefits us in many ways. But as you mentioned, did he bring a whole new staff with him? Yes, he did. He brought Tyler Walker, who is an offensive coordinator, who was at Montana State and put up, basically NCAA video game numbers at Montana State. And so far at Temple, he's actually 2 for 2 in succeeding with that, which I would not have predicted 3 weeks ago. I think, honestly, so for those who don't know, we beat UMass our week 1 game 42-7. I think I had that game, we won it as 17-10. We were predicted to win. We were slightly a better team at the time. Now maybe we're a decently better team. But just Temple has never won a game 42-7 in probably 5 years. I couldn't predict it. Even last week we played Howard and we won 55-7, and even that I was like, maybe we went 31-7, but I didn't see us putting up those type of numbers 2 weeks in a row. And obviously our defensive coordinator Brian Smith, he came from Rice. That little bit of Texas.
Nice. Yeah.
Texas connection from Keeler being at Sam Houston State, and so he brought him along. And again, I know it's lower level competition, but the uh, the defense and offense have both done what they were expected to do. You mentioned the transfer portal, which it's impossible to not talk about it this day and
Yeah.
age.
Yep.
Um, Honestly, one of the things that Keeler did was he brought his general manager with him from Sam Houston State,
Okay.
which I don't even think we had one on our old staff. So that
Right.
alone just kind of shows we're understanding it better. And hey, it's still always ever changing with now it's the house settlement rule, whatever they're calling it.
Hmm.
Um, but even since then, it just seems like we have to hit on our recruits and we have to hit on the transfer portal. Where basically, I had the GM on. His name's Clayton Barnes, and I asked him if he was Jonah Hill from Moneyball, and he basically said yes. He's like, look,
Wow.
we know what we're working with, but if we can, work the margins, find a guy who fits our system,
Hmm.
and they've done that.
Yep.
Um, Coincidentally, our starting quarterback was on our team last year. He's a transfer from Rutgers. Saw some time last year, but the whole team was just a shit show. So,
Yeah.
first two games this year, he's really stepped up and done what he's supposed to. We did bring in a backup quarterback to we thought maybe could beat him for the job, and
Mm.
even week one, our coach Casey Keeler said you might see both QBs. You did see both QBs, but one of them threw for 6 touchdowns and the other one didn't. So we're playing the one who threw the 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's been fun. It's been entertaining. I was at the game last Saturday against Howard, and I mean, I think I left before the end of the game because we were winning by so much. And
Yeah, I
I
got
haven't
through the
said that.
first half of
I
that
haven't.
game and y'all were up 21-0 at the end of one. I was like, good
Yep.
Lord, this is just a slaughter like right now.
Yeah. So it's been fun to be on those side of the games for first time in a while. As I mentioned earlier, you guys beat us 52-3 last year, and
Yeah.
it's kind of and we'll see how this game goes this Saturday. I'm trying to keep my expectations realistic, but just it's funny, just even like my interactions on Twitter from Temple fans, like now like some of them are coming out of the woodworks, like maybe we can
Yeah.
beat
Yeah.
Oklahoma. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh well, let's pump the brakes a little bit, but it's more in our thoughts than it was 2 weeks ago.
That's awesome. Well, and that kind of leads into one. Oh, you kind of somewhat answered it, but I'm just curious. You do a good job of having those connections, having coaches on your show, things like that. So, kind of as you keep talking to folks, what are the vibes in the locker room right now for the squad and the fan base? Like, are you seeing more fans already turn out by game two and people, like you said, starting to really kind of come out and support a little bit more as this thing's starting off hot this year?
Yeah, I would say definitely, even just last week. I mean, if we beat UMass 17-10 like the way I thought we would, I bet you there's a couple thousand fans that don't go to the game 2 days ago on Saturday.
Mm,
Like, because the way we won 42-7, it's like, oh, maybe we are a decent team. I'll check them out. And then now that we won 55-7 for, against Howard, there's definitely fans who probably were not going to look into tickets this upcoming week, and now they're at
mm.
least looking for tickets. Um, and I think that says a little bit more about our fan base. We're a little bit fickle, I think is the word. I don't know. But it's and we're a sports town at heart. So, Eagles obviously
Right.
always grab everybody's attention. But
Yeah.
hey, I think, yeah, this definitely could be a much better turnout. And expectations, I think going into the season, our win total over under for like Vegas was 3.5,
Wow.
and I would have definitely taken the over. I was like more four, maybe five,
Yeah.
like optimistically five. And now like the conversation for bowl game has probably happened more in the last 72 hours than I ever thought.
Wow, that's awesome.
So
Man, so
so
exciting.
expectations are definitely elevating. It's fun. It's kind of cool actually because we
Yeah.
haven't been good for 5 years.
Well, I mean, again, it's funny just hearing you say all these things out loud because I mean, obviously the programs are in different places, different histories, but I mean, we've had two losing seasons out of three, new head coach, a lot of change, a lot of same. I mean, our Vegas over under was 6 or 6.5 before the season started this year, and now all of a sudden, it's
Yeah.
obviously pushing up and everybody's high and yada yada. But I mean, there were people picking us to be at the very bottom of the SEC this year. I mean, just different things like that, and so for us to come out good these first couple games has been really exciting for us too. So it's kind of cool to be in that same vein. So with all this change, you mentioned the quarterback, Simon. I did see him on tape. He looks very good. He's mobile. He's got all the things. Looks like you guys got a couple running backs that can really give some problems. So give us a little bit of who you think kind of the key players offensively, but then also defensively for this game that might stand out for us to watch.
Yeah, definitely Simon. I think he's more athletic than he leads on.
Hmm.
He can scramble for 7 or 8 yards when needed. He can get out of the pocket. Um, Jay Ducker is the running back who came with Casey Keeler from Sam Houston State. So, and he's actually had a weird track record. I think he started at, I want to say NIU. Yeah, it was NIU, then Memphis, transferred up. Then it didn't really work out that well. Ended up back at Sam Houston State, a little bit lower conference level, and then he jumped ship with Casey Keeler to come to Temple. So fourth school in 4 years, but he's been fairly successful.
Yeah.
Um, and he's kind of I don't want to call him a early 2000s type running back, but like he's more of like that 5 yard gain guy like every time.
Yeah.
Like he's not going for 50 yards, although he did have one 50-yard run against UMass, and you could tell he burned out. He got caught real quick. Like it would have been a 99-yard touchdown run. You're like, that's really not his style. He got caught after
Yeah.
like 50 yards. Terez Worthy actually had a great game against Howard. They mixed him in a lot. He's more maybe like speed guy looking for like a spin move, juke move that looks pretty cool in the open field.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely work both of them. And honestly, I cannot give any one person credit, but really it's Tyler Walker, the offensive coordinator. His offense, like
Yeah.
he just puts people in the right spot. And Evan Simon had 6 touchdowns in the first week, and it was just because people were open. Like
Yeah.
they're doing really good play calls of before pre-snap motion, good
Mm-hmm.
play action fakes. They're really working the tight ends a lot. Like everything that you can get a quarterback to do right by the offensive coordinator standpoint, like he's doing it. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
making life easier. I think I just looked it up. This last Sunday against Howard, Evan Simon was 8 of 10 for 174 yards.
Golly.
Like, so you're just like that's just easy pickings.
Yeah.
But people have to be in the right spot, and you're just getting them open. And he
Right.
had 3 touchdowns. So in 2 games, he has 9 touchdowns. I don't even know what his completion percentage is off the top of my head. It's got to be in like
Wow.
65 or 70% range.
Oh, at least.
And
Yeah.
hey, the offensive line is definitely better than they were a year ago, and it will be a huge testament against you guys if they can hold.
Right.
You know, I'm not holding my hopes up for that because you guys do have SEC level caliber defensive linemen where we have not faced that yet. But no, it's definitely everything on offense is going right, and they have a couple receivers who came from lower level schools, and they are just looking the part themselves too.
Mm-hmm.
Colin Chase looks really good. JoJo Bermudez might be 5'9" on a good day, but he's almost like that short, speedy guy, but he can make some big plays.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's just been fun to watch. Like
Yeah.
it really has been overall the offense. Everybody's doing just a little bit right, and
Yeah.
Evan Simon definitely has the stats for it. But even if you ask him, he'll say like, no, like the receivers are doing their part, offensive line are doing their part. So,
Yeah.
um, long term, I don't see Evan Simon maintaining that craziness of it, but he's overall a good player.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I just looked it up just for kicks and giggles. He is at a 77.1 completion percentage right now.
That makes that
77.1.
yeah,
And I will
not
say
bad.
that, like I said, I didn't get to watch the whole Howard game. I was breaking it down a little bit tonight and last night. But yes, I think there's actually a lot of similarity between what you're going to see with OU's new offensive coordinator and him. Just like you said, a lot of movement, a lot of motion, little bit of eye candy here and there, but then just getting guys in the right spot. As long as you're in your area, there's somebody that's going to be open and available. It's just a matter of you, like you said, holding the line of scrimmage and giving us an opportunity to make it. It was really fun watching their offense against Howard, and again, 21 points in one quarter made it really fun just to watch them just work that way. So, how about the defensive end? Who's really standing out for you guys there? As I watched that game, just to be honest, it looked like a different person made a tackle every single play. Like I was struggling to figure out like who is this go to? Like they're all just in. It is 11 bodies just playing defense together right now.
Yeah, I actually was looking it up earlier because I was trying to come up with a good defensive name for you. And like our leading tackler only had our well, I know like one or two that have been better, but like our leading tackler only had 5 total tackles. Like
Right.
it's not like there was one guy with 10 or 12 tackles.
Yeah.
Um, Cameron Stewart has been really good. He's kind of like that outside linebacker edge guy.
Hmm.
He's made a couple of plays. He had 2 sacks on Saturday. Uh, Caton Super, it's a weird last name,
Yeah.
Superanant. He's had a couple big plays. He had a forced fumble, I believe, against UMass. Eric Stewart's another guy to keep a name out for. But yeah, realistically, and because we are getting these big leads, it is easier to rotate a lot of guys in. I think they've
Right.
played like 7 or 8 defensive linemen on that front seven or
Mm.
front four, both games. So it's
Right.
hard to tell who specifically. In the UMass game, Ben Asueke is a corner. He had a pick in the end zone. That was a good play. Another guy, Lewis Fry. He's like that hybrid kind of safety linebacker. But yeah, I would say overall the defense has been solid. Nobody completely stands out, like I mentioned.
Mm.
It's just a lot of guys getting to the ball
Hmm.
quickly. Um, and I think a lot of it is Casey Keeler just brings this confidence with him. I don't know
Yeah.
what, but he's got these guys on both sides of the ball just playing with a confidence I haven't seen at Temple in quite some time.
Yeah.
And it is weird because we started out with UMass, started out with Howard. So predictions were, all right, we're 2-0. Did I ever think we'd blow both those teams out the way we did? No, but I thought we
Mm.
should be 2-0. But we play you guys next week or this week at this point, and then Georgia Tech the following week. So like everyone's
Mm.
biggest fear is like we'll be 2-2 and we'll get smoked 2 straight weeks in a row. So the next 2 weeks really, like if we can find a way to keep it competitive with you guys and maybe
Yeah.
squeak one out against Georgia Tech, like that's just a huge game changer for us. So I think
Hmm.
that's our goal the next 2 weeks.
Right. So with that, have you watched or broken down enough of them to kind of on the defensive side, kind of what is their identity? Are they, it seems like they're more of a three-man front a little bit this year. Like, are they kind of a blitzing style? Are they kind of a sit back style? Kind of what is their just overall MO as a defense so far?
I think it's mainly 3 men front, but they have that like Clay Matthews outside linebacker kind
Yeah.
of thing always on the field. And they do run a lot of like nickel packages, which I think most college football does at this point because of the
Right.
the spread offenses and stuff. Um, I will say, and the guy I had on my show last week, kind of, we talked about this. The first drive against UMass, there
Hmm.
was some missed tackles, and we were like, "Oh no, is this the same tempo of old?" And they really like UMass scored in like 4 minutes. That was like their only touchdown of that game,
Hmm.
and it was kind of like they buckled down, they figured it out. Maybe it was just preseason jitters, or maybe they just hadn't had a practice in a couple days with full on
Right.
tackling, and that. But it was definitely they figured it out real quick. And then in that UMass game, they had an interception in the end zone, like I mentioned. They had a goal line stand later on. They had a forced fumble. Just those plays that we hadn't seen the defense been making in quite
Hmm.
some time.
Yeah.
And then, as you mentioned, I mean this past weekend against Howard to put up
Oh,
21 points in the first quarter, you have to
yeah.
make some defensive stops. Like it
Yeah.
was it was borderline like 3 and out, 3 and out. Like I don't think Howard had the ball for more than 3 minutes in the first quarter.
Wow.
So just so the defense is just everybody's just playing good and well enough that yeah, I don't know if there's a specific thing that they're doing great. Obviously blitzing when you're up 50 points is a lot easier. So it's but yeah, they're just playing really well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I was telling you a little bit before the part, I was a little bit surprised, just the amount of people I've talked to that know someone going up to the game this weekend, but it seems like there's going to be a decent crew up there. My brother's living in Pittsburgh now, so he might be heading over to the game. So we'll see if he drives up for it. And then I've even had a bunch of guys that are in our board that live kind of East Coast, and they're all planning, of course, to come over that way. Give us a lowdown, man. What do we do on a game day at a Temple Owls game? What is there to go do? What's the right places to go eat? Where do we go get the cold beverages? Like what's going down for the Temple Owls on Saturday for a game day?
So because it's a 12 o'clock start, you're really kind of
Yeah.
like it's almost like getting a lot. It's almost like getting a lot. Like I think they might open at 7, if not it's 8. But it's like getting a lot really early, and especially I can say this because I've gone to too many Temple football games, and I go to a good amount of Eagles games. They don't do the best job of getting you in the lot right away. Like
Uh,
you might think there's no way I'm going to wait in line for 20 minutes, and then you wait in line for 20 minutes. So my honest recommendation is if you can, the earlier you can get there, the better.
okay.
Because then sometimes you just like look and you're like, how is there a 50 car line even for a Temple game that only has like 10,000 fans. Like there
Right.
shouldn't be this line getting in this parking lot. So with this game, because it might be a bigger turnout from Temple's fan base, you guys could bring a couple extra thousand fans that most away teams don't bring. Um, I actually been talking to some people, could this be a game that we really sell out the lower bowl? So if you're
Uh,
familiar, Temple plays at Lincoln Financial Field.
right.
We never really even sell out the lower bowl because that holds about 35,000.
Mm.
If we can do that, like that looks like that's considered basically a sellout for Temple standards.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're all of our heads are at. Like we get to the 35,000 range. I think the last time we did that was we had Rutgers as our homecoming game, I think 2 or 3 years ago. And
Yep.
I think it was about 33,000.
Wow.
But yeah, my first recommendation is if you can get down there earlier, just do that, bite the bullet and get down there. If you're, in Philly Friday night and you're looking for stuff to do, it sounds cliche, but there's plenty of cheesesteak spots you can go to.
Yep.
You don't have to go to the best named ones. Honestly, most local pizza joints, if you just get a cheesesteak there, it's still solid.
Uh,
If you want to go to the big name ones, there's Pat's and Geno's, but most Philly people tell you they're touristy ones.
yeah.
The best one in the city is but they're usually like an hour wait, so skip that. Um, if you're looking for stuff, there's a bar downtown called McGillin's. That's a good spot.
Okay.
Um, if you're staying in South Philly by the stadiums, there's a place called Xfinity, just a big sports bar. It's a fun
Nice.
time. Uh,
Nice.
so if you're looking for something like that, but honestly, if you walk around like City Hall, anywhere in that area, it's just like some nice scenery. Love Park's right there. So there's definitely a lot to do. But game day, you're better off waiting until after the game to do more of the touristy stuff. Just get to the lot and start drinking.
Awesome. Very good, man. Well, thank you for the tips on that. I know Sooner fans will appreciate it. Last one is how do you see the game going? What's your prediction? I know it's early in the week. We're recording this, by the way, early. This is Monday night that we're recording all this so that we can get it all in. So we'll be, posting this later in the week. And so if something crazy has come up, we'll address that after all this stuff. But kind of what is your prediction as it stands right now with everything the way that it's supposed to be?
I've gone back and forth on this. I still can't find myself to predict that we win, despite how good we've looked. Ask me again Friday. I might, maybe I'll change my mind, especially
Right.
after a Miller Lite or two.
Yeah.
But for now, I would say, in August I would 5 to 10 or something.
Mm,
Now I'm leaning towards like maybe 31-14. Like
sure.
I think we look okay.
Yeah.
I think we might have a couple good offensive plays. I would love it to be somehow like 28-20,
Mm,
but I still don't know if I can go that far because Howard is Howard and UMass is UMass. Like
right.
they might be the two worst teams we play all season. So, and going from that to, you guys, the top
Mm.
15 ranked team. What are you guys, 13th now?
It depends on what poll. We're
So
16 in
it'll
one
be
and 13 in the other. So,
okay. We'll go off the one that says
yeah.
13.
Yeah.
But but yeah, so like if there was a third game that was maybe against like a middle of the pack MAC team or something, I'd maybe
Mm,
have a better gauge. If we were
right.
playing a 1-1, Ohio or Northern Illinois this week, I would
Right.
say I would have a better gauge of it. But um it's just tough because you guys are so good and we've played just nobody. But for us it's like I think it was last week they said we jumped in ESPN's like FPI rankings. Like we were 120 and we jumped almost 40 spots.
Yeah.
So like we're still like 80. So like technically you should beat the crap out of us. But we're better than like
Yeah.
almost a third of college football now, which
Right.
is okay. Which is okay.
Hey, just keep climbing, man. Just keep climbing. I'm telling
Exactly.
you, uh, it's a stark contrast. I've been in the boards all day today, just saying, look, man, like, should we win the game? Yes, but this team is different. This is not. This ain't what we walked into last year. This, like, our guys have got to have their heads on straight, or it can get sideways really quick. So I'm excited, happy for you guys to do it. And we'll see. I mean, we're first time this team's been on the road all season as well, and so that's always one of those quirky things that can get a team off or whatever. But I think we're going to be a little bit slower. I think your offense is going to get us a couple times. I'm picking more of like a 38-17 kind of game. I think right now is kind of where I'm at. But we'll see again as the week goes on. We get to see more guys, see what the injury situations are, all that stuff. But it should be fun, man. So, Sean, tell everybody where they can find your stuff, man, and where they can see all of your content at.
Yeah, so on Twitter, I think it's at Al underscore be back. And I did make an Instagram for this account. I don't know if it's going well, but I'm trying, because all the young kids, that's what they use.
That's right.
Um, but yeah, at I'll be back. And I'm on Spotify. I'm on Apple Podcasts. So
Yeah,
try to do one once a week during football season, and then basketball season varies as well.
yeah.
Um, and then no, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited for Saturday, and we'll see what happens.
Awesome, man. Thanks so much for joining, Sean. We appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. So again, hope you got a little bit of insight where to go, what to do, parking. So obviously an issue there at the stadium, but what a cool event it's going to be for the Sooners and for Temple. Look, I said it earlier this week. I said it leading into the interview. This is a very different Temple team. As far as for me, what am I watching in this game? I want to see the young guys, how they handle it. How does Cortland Guillory handle this? How does a Reggie Powers handle this? Some of these guys that haven't played so much, Michael Fasusi, if he's healthy, how does he handle this? Being on the road for the first time, hostile environment, which again, is it going to be anything frightening? I don't think so, not in comparison, but a lot of those true freshman guys have never experienced any kind of hostile crowd yet and on college level. So will they travel? Will their game travel, right? When we talk about Thunder stuff, we always say your role players disappear on the road. Let's find out if our true freshmen disappear on the road. Two is just an edge. If the trenches are what they are on both sides, they should win this football game. And I need to see them come out with a real intensity like they did against Michigan, desiring just to wreak havoc at every single snap of the ball. And they're deep enough to do it. And they have not hardly played any snaps this year. And so let's do that. And I think those are going to really be your keys to the game. Just not coming out flat, not coming out overlooking this team, but really get up on them quick, early. Like we were saying with Temple, they were up 21-0 in a first quarter on a team. That was obviously not as good as they are. I mean, even going into that game, Temple was a favorite. Okay, that's how different this team is. But I can promise you, Keeler and his staff are going to have this team ready, and they're going to have some wrinkles in there that are going to throw some people off. They're going to give a defensive look they haven't given yet. They're going to give some offensive looks they haven't given yet. And does everyone stay focused, calm, read their keys correctly, and do what they ought to do? And so, like I said and Nala's joined the chat yet again. As I said with Sean earlier in the week, I believe this game will be more like 38-17. I don't think the offense is going to be quite as explosive as some think it is. And hopefully that's because they're getting the run game going. But I also think that their offense is going to get us with some gadget stuff early in the game, and the guys are going to have to settle in. So again, think OU wins, but there's every opportunity for them not to if they don't keep themselves focused and ready to go in the midst of it. And so that'll be that. Again, sorry for the pup entering the chat, but hope you guys have enjoyed this. We're having a great time. You are too. By the way, for those of you that have been asking about merch, we've had a little bit of an issue with our site. We're hoping to have it fixed here in the next few days, and we will get that back out to you. And then don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and leave a 5-star review. Continues to help us tremendously, man. We thank you all so much for your support, and we will talk to you guys later. Bye, Baker.
Cha-ching, a Thunder money ball. And you can unhitch the wagon. Put the ponies in the ball.